Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. As many of you guys know from either TikTok or Instagram, I've been doing makeup for years. And if you personally know me, you know I hate speaking to a camera. I've never felt comfortable doing it until I got into TikTok. So that is why it's taken me so long to start this YouTube channel, almost 3 years in the making now. So, if you want to see how I get from this simple, no makeup look to this glam look, keep on watching you. Okay, so first up is brows. Today we're just going to be doing a very simple glam look, so I'm not going to do anything crazy, so this should be very easy for you guys who are just starting in makeup. So if you want to see how I get my brows, keep on watching. Okay, so first up we are going in with the Morphe Brow pencil. This is a beautiful pencil because not only does it have a spoolie, it also has your brow pencil. And this is a very thin tip, so it's really nice to get those hair-like strokes in there. Okay, so first up, I'm going to brush up my hairs just so I have that clean line at the bottom of my brows on both sides. Okay, I am going to go in, if I'm looking over to the side, I have my little Shane Dawson Jeffree Star mirror in there, so I'm sorry for that. So I'm going to take the tip side and I'm going to start doing very small strokes on the bottom of my brow. And I'm going to go all the way to that tail of my brow just to get a nice defined look. And just like that, you can see the bottom of my brow is nicely defined. Okay, so next up we are doing the top of the brow, so I'm going to take that same side and I'm going to go feather-like strokes on the top of the brow going along my natural curve of the brow. And going all the way till I meet that tail. It doesn't have to be super clean right now because we will be going in with some concealer later to clean that up. Okay, so some of you guys might have some struggles doing some brows. So I'm going to give you a nice little tip that I learned pretty early in my career. So if you go off the side of your nose, where your brow pencil meets, that's where the start of your brow should go. If you go off the side of your brow and through your pupil, that is where the arch of the brow should go. If you go along the lower lash line, that is where the tail of your brow should go. So if you don't have much brow, you can mark those spots and then connect the dots from there. Okay, next up I'm going to take a Morphe 421. It's a very thin, flat, curved brush to cut out my brow. So I'm going to pick up a little concealer off of my hand and I'm going to carve the bottom of my lash line. Okay, and just like that, I have just carved the natural line of my brow, just so you guys can see it. Okay, next up I'm going to take a Morphe 335 brush, it's a chubby buffer brush, and I'm going to blend all of that concealer out. Okay, now that we have that natural cut out, I'm going to do the same thing to the top. Okay, and just like that, you have your brow carved out, cut, and looking ready to go. I will be back and I'm gonna go do the other side. Okay, and just like that, the brows are done. So next up, we are going on to the eyes. I like to go brows, eyes, face. That way, if there's any fallout, I can easily clean it up with a wipe. Today, we are just going to go in with a super soft glam cut crease look. Not gonna be a full cut crease, just like a stamp of cut crease, if you know what I mean. This is going to be perfect for date nights, going out, galas, just anything basic and super glam. Those two things do not work together. I just realized that. But anyways, you'll see what I mean. So if you guys want to see how I get my eyes, again, keep watching. Okay, so first up, I'm going to go in with the P. Louise base in Rumor 02. This is going to be the perfect base for any eye look. It's going to create a nice, smooth canvas to work on your eyeballs. And then it's going to really make the pigment of the shadows pop. So I'm going to take some on the back of my hand. Okay, I'm going to go back in with that 335 brush from Morphe, and I'm just going to pat some of that into my eyeball. If you pat in, it's going to create a nice smooth base, rather than when you swipe, it will create some streaks in your eye base, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to pat, pat, pat. And just like that, you have a nice smooth base to work on now. Next up, we are going to go in with the Tati Beauty Textured Volume 1 palette. This palette is honestly a neutral's dream. I really love how she did this. So she has a row of mattes in here, a row of a very sheen shimmer matte, a row of metallics, and then a row of glitters, all within the same color story. Okay, first up, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Ritual. It's just this nice, deep chocolate brown shade. And I'm going to tap that on the outer corner of my eyes. And again, once you tap, that is the place that is going to have the most pigment of that shadow that you just picked up. Okay, so you can just see I'm just tapping that shadows before I go in and blend it out a little bit later. Okay, next up I'm going to add some warmth into this eye, and I'm going to go in with Story. It is a nice rich orange shade just to add in that warmth. Okay, so I am going to feather that very ever so slightly on the edges of what I just placed, just so I can create that seamless blend. I'm holding in the middle of the brush and going very, very light feather-like strokes. Okay, now that we lost a little bit of that deep brown color, we're gonna go in with that shade again, tap off all that extra just to build it back up ever so slightly. And just like that, the depth is back into the eye. Okay, next up, I am gonna go in with a nice big fluffy blending brush just to get that final blend in there. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Aurora from the same palette. Okay, and tapped off all that extras, I'm just gonna go off the edges just to blend everything into one now. Again, very feather-like strokes. You don't want too much pressure, or else you can actually create some streaks in the eyeshadow. And just like that, you can see how easily that just blended and how seamless all of those colors are transitioning. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go back in with that chubby buffer brush that we have been working on. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that eye base just to stamp a soft cut crease onto the eye. I'm gonna start in the middle and just work my way up until I run out of product. And I'm not going more than 3/4 on my eye, just to open up my eyes a little bit more than what they already are. Okay, and just like that, you can see the difference between the eyes, how this one just kind of opened up a little bit more by doing a very simple set technique of stamping out the cut crease rather than actually a sharp cut crease. Okay, next up, I'm gonna switch products just a little bit just to get a little bit more variety. And I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows in the style Ladybird. So I find in going in with your ring finger and the natural oils will actually make the shadows pop a little bit more, but honestly, these don't really need any help because they are stunning. So I'm gonna grab that off the back of my finger and just pat in where I just placed. Okay, and now that it's patted on, I'm gonna go in with that dark shade, no extra product, and just blend those two seamlessly together just to create a really nice transition. Okay, now that we have that blended in, I'm gonna go in with the Patrick Star One Size Beauty felt tip liner just to line my lash line. Okay, and just like that, the lash line is lined and ready to go. It doesn't have to be a perfect line, you guys, because we are going to be putting a lash later on top. Okay, next up, we are gonna go in with a lash, and today we are going in with Gemini Collective. Gemini Collective is a self-made brand. She is strong, she's independent, she is amazing. She is based out of Regina, Saskatchewan, and her products are bomb.com. You don't need any extras. Her lashes are one of the most fullest, flutteriest, beautiful lashes I've ever put on my eyeballs. And again, I put a lot on my eyeballs. So today we're gonna go in with the style Chrissy, and we are just going to pop that right on. And bam, we have one eye fully completed. If I wasn't talking and doing a full tutorial, I can get this eye look done in about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. 2.5 with the lashes. So I will be back and I'm gonna do the other eye off of camera. Okay, we're back with both eyes completed. So it's a very simple cut crease, soft glam moment going on. You can wear it every single day, going out, going to the club, whatever you would like. I don't really like to do anything on the under eyes when I'm doing this type of look. I'll do a little inner corner highlight at the end, but for right now, I think that's okay. So for face, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe Beauty Oil just to really hydrate my face. So I'm going to take a nice amount in the squeeze tube, do one on my forehead, one on my cheeks, and one just on the bridge and my chin. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go in with the Tati Silk Canvas just to prep my T-zone, just to make sure my pores are very minimal in today's look. I'm just gonna tap that in to my T-zone. Because we're going in for a soft glam look, we are gonna go in with concealers and some cream contours only for the face. So I'm gonna start with this Instant Age Rewind Concealer from Maybelline in Ivory to conceal all of my T-zone areas. And now that we have it on, we're just gonna tap it out with a foundation brush. Just tap, tap, tap that into the skin. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the shade Sand as my foundation shade, just where I would normally put my foundation. And again, tap that out with my brush. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty matchstick in the shade Truffle for the contour areas. Because I have a big face, I do like to contour as much as I can. And I'm gonna go in with the Jaclyn Hill Anything Creamy contour. And just like that, all of the cream products are blended on my face. Because my face is a little bit more dry, I actually really don't set most of my base, but I will go in with a brightening powder just to set my under eyes, because that's the first one that normally creases. I'm gonna go in with the E46 brush just to pick up some of my brightening powder from my 8M palette from Morphe, just to set those under eyes. And my T-zone. I'm gonna go in with the 2 blushes from the 8M palette and just tap that into my high points of my cheeks. And again, because we haven't set the makeup, we want to tap it in so none of the base separates. A little on the forehead, a little on the chin, and the tip of the nose. Next up, we're going to go in with some powder, contour, and bronzer. Going to take all 3 of the shades just to tap in, again, because we haven't set that, just to tap in where your normal contour / bronzer would go. We have the contour, bronzer, and blush on. Time for highlight. Again, grabbing that 2 highlights from the Morphe 8M just for, ooh yes, just for the high points of my cheekbones. I like a lot of blush, so this might not be for everyone. Next up, I'm gonna go in with the gloss from the Maddie Ziegler Morphe collection in Libra Energy, just to give a little shine to my lips. And there we go. go. We have the full face completed, ready to go out, but unfortunately it's quarantine, so I'm not going to. If you guys like this video, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment what you want to see me do next. Do you want to see tours? Do you want to do specific tutorials? Let me know in the comments, and thank you guys so much. All of my social media will be in the description box below. Until next time, you guys, bye!